goings on. But since we already live on Twitch, I'm gonna just talk to y'all for a minute. And in a second, once she gives me the green light, you'll hear the show start officially when I start hitting all the drops and all of that.
All right.
And then we good.
It sounds like we are live everywhere, so I'm going to open up the show.
All right, let's do it.
Do you wanna ride with Sammy? What you want me to do? Come on and slide with Sammy.
Yeah, man.
Sippin', I'm 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 sippin'.
This is Sippin' with Sammy. I am Mr. Flash, it only the one and only Sippin' with Sammy. Sam Malone, Barstool Rug. If you ain't sippin' with Sammy, you ain't sippin' right. Please get your fucking life together.
Damn Sammy, you done fucked up.
Yup! What's up with y'all, man? Happy Monday, happy hour, all that flyness. How y'all feeling? Hopefully your day was great. If not, let's make it a little bit better. Let's have some fun together. Why not? We all in here already, and hopefully you here to stay for a little bit. I know y'all got a schedule, but I got time if you got time. It's another dope Monday. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Either one, all of the above. It's all appreciated. But I'm feeling good. I do have Kay from Font Productions in the building, producing, curating, and all of this fly shit she do. How you feel today, Kay?
I'm living the dream as always.
I heard that. As you should. Let me get this little, trying to share the link. Y'all do the same if you don't mind. But yeah. It's a good day. Your Monday was good?
I had a great Monday.
Oh, your Monday was great now. See, she
Monday
turned
was
it up
great.
from Twitch.
Great.
We was on Twitch. For those that don't know, for the first time, we did the pregame on Twitch at 5:35-ish. We went live.
Yep.
You know, that's not a thing that we're going to schedule. That's a thing that if we got everything in order and we available to do that, then you'll be able to pregame with me. Because I sip a little bit before we go on just to loosen up my words. You know, they get stuck together sometimes. I got to loosen them up. So we had a little pregame session with everybody on Twitch. We still on Twitch. We still on TikTok. And we on YouTube. And shout out to everybody, no matter where you tuned in from and what you tuned in for. We are going to have some fun today, man. I'm excited. I'm ready to have a good time. But we did do the pregame today. How you think the pregame went?
You know, I think it went well. I think the pregame is fun because they're going to see a little bit more of our banter. And it's also going to be nice to warm us up. Because I feel like usually right before we go live, I'm doing tech stuff and like scrambling to try and get ready, and then you're over there listening to YouTube videos and catching up on any last minute news, and I feel like we're like cramming in so much production in the last like 30 minutes of being ready that realistically we don't need to do. Like, we've already done plenty of pre-production. So I think having a more relaxing intro time to the show will actually be cool.
Yeah. The only thing that I'm thinking while I'm doing it is we're going to have to do this a few more times, and I'm going to have to do it the same way where I'm explaining what we're doing until people catch on, which is fine. But I just got to make a mental note, like, that's not this. People know what this is. We got to explain to them what that is. And now we got to tell all the platforms that if you are over there, that is where the pregame is at. That's where you get to tell me what you're sipping and all of that. And you can shoot some topics to us that might be off of what we're going to discuss at 6 o'clock. And we might be able to give you some responses to what y'all have going on, especially if anything y'all want to know about us.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely that part.
Yeah, ask us, man. I ain't an open book, but I'm around. I don't mind sharing, especially if I feel like it could be learned from. We need to start with the weekend recap, and Kay is on point. Check her out. So, you want me to kick it off?
Yeah, you could kick it off, please.
This weekend, what was that, Friday night we went to the premiere?
Friday.
Friday night, man. First of all, I'm going to start it off with this. Friday night, we had the honor of being invited by the minds and the producers and the stars of the Yall Drawn movie.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a movie from Boone and Rich. They Philly Sidney Poitier and Bill Cosby. And I know Cosby isn't something cool to say, but if you know the kind of movies they used to do, Let's Do It Again and stuff like that back in the day together, it's that same kind of energy, that odd couple energy.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever they say they doing something, I'm always a little excited because I know they put a little thought behind their pen, and they big on location and all of that type of stuff. Like, I think that for independence, like, they do a phenomenal job of just making sure everything fits together. So when they came through here a few weeks ago and we had a conversation, the episode just dropped on Thursday, right?
Yep.
And we was talking about how they brought so many Philly comedians and personalities together and how they bonded and all of that stuff. I was boosted even more to be like, no, we gotta be at the premiere. We gotta take the cameras. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
They got 18 premieres. Well, which one is the one where the yeah gonna be at? We gotta be there, right? So we pulled up, man.
And so did all of goddamn Philly.
Woo! They turned Cherry Hill and North Philly, South Philly, Southwest Philly.
Yo, everybody was coming out of that theater just like turning and being like, what is going on? Why are you here?
Imagine going to a Cherry Hill AMC with your family on a Friday evening, and it's one way every Friday, every time y'all go there. But tonight is 8 cameras out front, people dressed damn near in costume, people dressed up, people getting a lot of attention, a whole lot of joking going on, and a whole lot of backwoods burning.
Yep.
Couple J's. And that's what it was out front, that joint. So we outside because we go early, because we got to, do our thing. Get our red carpet type of vibe going, even whether it's a red carpet or not. We going to get our footage and talk to the people. So we was there a little early during one of the showings. So we were there to see people coming out of one of the early showings and caught some people, and then caught people that came for a later showing. It was a perfect intersection. Mm-hmm. So I'll let you take it from there.
Why'd you gotta go to me right now?
All right, cool. No, because I thought I was over. I thought I might have been over talking, and I might have went past something that you wanted to zero in on.
No, you're good. I'm still doing my sound check and everything.
All right, cool. But shout out to Ant for We Want to Rerun the Streets. Literally the first person that I saw when I walked on the scene, and it's somebody I've known for a while. And if you've been paying attention to anything in Philly, he's always been doing something production-wise, bringing light to people, having events, and all type of business acumens that we've seen Ant run through over the years. He's somebody that is always good to see is out here still working. He got his tripod set up and all of that, and he catching everything as it come and go. Like he caught half of my interviews, if not all of them. If he wasn't working with somebody else, and even if he did, he still cut back probably and caught some behind the scenes of the interviews I was catching. So I want to shout out Ant because he was out there doing a great damn job. Awesome job. Salute to Rerun the Streets, man. Also, yeah, so like I said, we in between. So we got to catch quite a bit of interviews. I met a few people. Southside Jew pulled up with me and had a good talk with me. For those that want to know, yes, she was there. Who's she, Kay?
Meatball.
Meatball was in the building, meatballing.
One of the biggest celebrities in Philly right now.
Nah, I'm proud of Meatball. She was definitely meatballing, man. She was in her bag. I knew it was her when we parked because she was there before us. Her and her people was pre-gaming in the parking lot.
Mm-hmm. She was at least 30 deep.
They was tailgating. I don't think I'm telling too much, right?
No.
So I'm looking and I'm like, blonde hair, pink sweatpants, yelling about a Polo t-shirt. I think Meatball right there. But she was there. She was giving up energy. But all this to say that everybody was excited. Everybody had good vibes. And you had transitional periods where there were people that was excited to see the movie mingling with people that just came out of seeing the movie. And they were boosting each other. And I was noticing that. Shout out my sis Red Snapper. She pulled up and started cutting shit as soon as she got there. I couldn't even get an interview with her. Where's my boyfriend? And yeah, she went crazy after that. So shout out to Snap. It's just like the whole outside was a vibe, but then we get inside, and you at this theater you get to pick your seats, and our seats was corny anyway because they was like some of the last seats, I guess. Something going down outside, but and then when we got in there, I'm like, no, Kay said let's just go over here real quick. Because if we go over here, I can get my bag and stuff together. And all I'm thinking is, nobody's sitting in their assigned seats tonight anyway, right? So we wind up with a little better situation seating wise. And when I'm talking about seating, just imagine when I grew up, you never want to be but so close to the screen.
Right.
And we was real close. We was center, front, screen. Now we off to the side and a little bit, a row or two further back.
No, it was the same row.
But the screens aren't as close to the seats as they used to be.
Yeah.
So we still had a good vantage point, and it's stadium style seat, and so it's going up now.
Yep.
As opposed to when I grew up too. So it wasn't that bad. Trust me, I love movies, so these things bother me. So we wound up with decent seat, and then Snapper wound up getting frustrated with whoever she was sitting around, and she wound up sitting right in front of us.
So that was dope.
So it was fire to just be right there, to be able to tap Sis on her shoulder when she was doing her thing and all of that. Like, I was excited to do that. That was fun because Sis brings the energy, man. She is who she is.
Absolutely.
Yeah, snap. But I'll let you take it from here because now we can get into all the technicals and all the nuances of the situation, which is Yall Drawn movie that had premiered this weekend. Biggest comedy out of Philly and probably the biggest comedy that y'all gonna see this year.
So, if you haven't already gone to see it, you should. If you haven't seen the trailer, you need to watch it now. But this movie was...
Or in a couple hours.
Okay, fine. Fair to say. This movie was hilarious. First off, I want to give them their props because one thing that they talked about on our podcast was that after doing the bid, they heard the little criticism and the things that folks were saying that they needed to do better, and they wanted to take this movie up a notch in terms of everything on the production. And I could tell, like, this was absolutely high-quality production. The sound design was amazing.
The most consistent indie sound I've heard.
Absolutely. Like,
anything that I heard was just as good as that.
Yes. Like, production-wise, this stood with every other movie that was in that theater that isn't a big budget action movie. Like, this was on par for any other comedy movie that I've seen recently.
The framing was great. The angles was great. It wasn't weird shots. It wasn't extended diatribes going on. It wasn't, I gotta overly explain this because we didn't find a way to fit it into the movie. It was none of those moments.
Right. Shout out Roblox guest 122. He said, hello, what's happening?
What's up?
How's it going? Yeah, so it was the technical side of things was awesome. Mm-hmm. And then when it comes to the actual acting and the writing and all of that, this was first off.
Shout out Zamula, man. Shout out my homegirl.
This was an all-star cast. Like, you had some of Philly's best up-and-coming comedians, some of Philly's top influencers. Anybody who's doing the hottest skits here in Philly was in this movie. So it was already going to be hilarious. But the fact that everybody got to play a character that really suited their style of comedy, their attributes, I just thought that this was
the casting
great.
Was done very well.
Yeah.
And I mean, from like when you say casting, it's one thing to get dope people, it's another thing to put them in the position to win.
Yep.
And I think that all of that was great. But back to what I say about Boone and Rich, that's what they do. That's literally what they do. They take the time to make sure that if you're going to be a part of their thing, that it feels natural and it puts you in the best light and situation you could be in. And I think that's awesome.
Bye, Roblox. Have a great day.
You out of there?
Yep. He said he has to go.
All right. Appreciate you, yo. But no, that's what it is. But keep going. My bad. I just had to point that out.
No, I mean, that was
the sum of it?
Yeah, that was the sum of it for me.
I got to give mine too. I agree. Hilarious movie. Very entertaining. The way, and they said on here, so it's not like I'm giving it away. They said that they took something that's very prominent in our city, which is the drill scene and these kids acting wild, and they flipped it and made it funny and entertaining. And I think, and they gave a message without trying to preach. And I think all of those things were accomplished.
Yeah.
I think that Meatball was awesome. What's my man name that painted his face white for this joint, man? Damn it, I see him every week. He killed it. He was the gang leader.
I know who you're talking about. I just don't know his name off the top of my head.
Rizzy killed it.
Yep.
Snapper killed it. I shouted out Zai earlier, and I want to point out why. Because there's a lot of big personalities with big followings in this movie, and she's not one of them. She is a artist. She is a model. She does whatever she does, but she's not one of these people that go viral every month in our city like the rest of the people in the movie are. You know what I mean? And she held down a large percentage of that movie being Boone's love interest. Rich's love interest in the movie, right?
Yep. Definitely.
And she did a great job. She did a great job. So I think that when people talk about the movie, they're always going to refer to the biggest names sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, oh, they did their thing, and yeah, they've been doing their thing. I just want to give a little shout out to Zai, because Zai is somebody that shows us love, somebody that's supposed to come through on a platform. Whenever I'm ready, actually, I just got to get with her, and we got to mesh schedules because she be moving. But shout out to Zai, man. You did your thing.
Oh, Molly.
Marley Cobain. My bad, Marley. But yeah, Marley does his thing. But Marley
great.
literally goes viral weekly or monthly. Like, he goes nuts.
The whole Apes crew,
They
the
was
Park
wildin'.
Apes, was
Shout out
fantastic.
DJ
That was
N.I.
some of the best acting I've seen out of Philly.
My man DJ N.I. was in his bag of
Yep.
new.
Hunted Buck was awesome.
Hunted Buck killed
Meatball was amazing.
that. Yo, when that first scene, or maybe, I think it's the first scene you see her, when she like, hold up, I gotta get this on live. That shit was so perfect. It was like, oh, Meatball, you got some chops with you. Even though it's Meatball being Meatball, it's still everything. When you film it and put it in a movie, don't come across like it come across on live. You got to put a little something in it. Got to be an energy to it.
And one thing that they kept saying during our interview with them was they were talking about the message to the youth that's behind this movie.
Right.
And I thought they did a great job of balancing that message and the comedy at the same time. Like, they didn't hit you over the head with the message, so to speak, but they did it through comedy by actually drawing and just repeatedly finding themselves in these situations because they were doing things a way that they shouldn't be.
Right, ridiculous. I also love the fact that, and from the first time I discussed the bid with Boone, I love that he don't mind being the bid. I love that he gets it.
Yeah.
Like, Wallow is kind of the bid in a certain way in his dynamic with Gilly, because these are odd couple situations, but not as much as Boone has taken it there. Now, if we see Wallow act, he might really go there. But I love that Boone will run the whole situation and be the fool. When he was playing the gorilla, the ape, oh man, you crazy? This nigga's a genius. But I give it 5 stars. If we doing the 5 stars, I give him 5, man. I think that this was a great joint. I actually want to see it again. I've heard people saying they were going back to the movies to see it again.
Yeah.
So I think they knocked this one out the park. I think they had a huge release, and
Wait, can we just give them a big hand for a second
Let's do
for
it.
being out in, 100 AMCs?
Man,
That's crazy.
it's crazy. And I think they were still trying to figure that out when they was here.
And they sold out at every show in Cherry Hill on opening night. I think every show at Cecil B. Moore, and probably King of Prussia too.
Possibly, quite possibly. And the crazy thing is, it was premiere energy at all 3 theaters in the area. I've seen people online going live and going crazy all night from all 3 spots. Cause it was crazy, cause like some of the talent that wasn't with us was on the Broad Street joint. You know what I mean? But we had so much talent that was where we was at that you wouldn't even realize there was a whole nother premiere going on simultaneously, and there was just as much talent over there. It's crazy. They did they big one on, as they say, on this one, man.
Yeah, this was dope.
It's like a proud for them and proud for the city moment.
Yeah.
And I made sure to salute everybody and congratulate everybody as much as I possibly could. And we out to BTS, so you guys will be able to see that very soon. We're gonna start pumping these Tripping with Sammies out.
Yep.
Cause we got a few in the tuck. We just dropped 1K. What do we just drop? No, it ain't come out yet, but it's coming out this week.
It's coming out this week. So tomorrow, actually, we're dropping the Rap Rockstar Showcase that Velcro hosted. This is some dope footage, some up-and-coming rappers, some rappers who you should know already. Also, Molly hosted the situation. DJ Crazy was in the building.
Yeah, they gave me Molly microphone at one point.
Yep. Swaggiano was in the building. So we got a lot of dope footage from that, and that is dropping tomorrow. Check out the Trippin' with Sammy only on YouTube.
Yeah, man. Yo, salute to everybody that invites us to these events, whether I'm hosting or they want us to just witness it, or they are paying us or inviting us for the to get the behind the scenes and the footage and the backstage. Like, we have a great time when things are done right, and 9 times out of 10 the people we deal with do things right. So I just want to salute all of y'all for letting us have the BTS, letting us be the ones behind the curtain. Like, it's fly. I enjoy it, and I think that the more that we are able to show y'all what I do when I do go out, the more y'all will understand where my point of view comes from about a lot of things that go on that we speak on topic wise on these Mondays.
Absolutely.
I think that it'll help y'all a lot.
Yep.
Because we fight for the little guy, man.
And speaking of the premiere footage, this weekend I'm probably going to be streaming on Twitch again and editing the footage that we got from the Criers premiere.
Okay.
So if you want to tune in, that'll
Shout out
probably be
cousin
on
Zach,
Saturday. Yep.
Yeah, that's fly. That's what's up. That's what's up. This weekend is crazy for me, so I won't be around. But no, what else happened this weekend?
I streamed a lot. That was about it.
Shout out
For
to
me.
shout out to Wade and his wife, Miss Reese. You know what I'm saying? I actually had plans on going to their barbecue and turning up. I was ready to go get their bottle, even though I knew they wasn't going to have my bottle. And they had a few things happen and had to cancel the barbecue. So one thing I did do this weekend was I said, well, we were supposed to celebrate the young lady's birthday, which is coming up this week. So happy birthday.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I'm going to take shots. I'm drinking with y'all. So I FaceTime Wade and Miss Reese, as we call her.
Yep.
And wound up on FaceTime with them for about an hour and some change, just talking shit. I don't know how many shots we took. I think we took about 4 together. Maybe 5. But it was like a party. So shout out to them because Wade is somebody that comes through and holds us down and contributes his energy. Miss Reese is somebody that I actually know from work, and she's dope on the daily for me. So just 2 dope people to be around, great energy and a lot of fucking laughs, man. I made a whole bicep joke about Wade, and it was just stupid. It just came out of nowhere. The nigga just kept having his arm in the frame. Like, it'd be her face and his arm. I'm like, what you trying to show me?
Stupid.
But no, the weekend was cool though, man. Weekend was cool. Let's get into some topics.
All right. Let's do it. You want to start with sports as always?
Yeah, I mean, you run it, man. We
All right. Let's start with some WNBA because
Stat
we
lady.
back, baby.
We back.
We back, baby.
We're gonna have a
All right. So, WNBA is definitely back, and it came back with a storm. So,
See what you did there.
Caitlin Clark ended up breaking a new record. She now another one, right? I wish we had that drop.
Right.
Thanks, Sammy.
She now holds the most assists by rookie record with 225 assists.
Yeah, boy.
This was a record that stood since 1998. Do you remember the name of the player who...
Offhand, no. And I wish I knew this was the topic because I probably would have remembered by now. But no, I don't know.
Hold on, I can look it up.
She keep breaking records.
I
boy.
know.
Like,
It's crazy.
It's a little ridiculous. A little bit ridiculous. And it's crazy because I think similar to Steph, a lot of people just look at
Tincha Penicheiro.
okay.
Penicheiro.
And
Something like that.
I heard part of let me get to my one point and then I'll get to the second one.
Yeah.
A lot of people are ignited by her jump shot like Steph, the range and the sporadic just pull from anywhere energy. But I think similar to Steph, her handle, her passing ability, her basketball mind gets overlooked and they just turn into this person that we're waiting to see hit from the half court all game. But the fact that she's breaking all of these records proves that she's more than just a jump shot. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Even though sensationalized basketball and we see how sports and how kids grow up, they stick to the highlight. And she ain't dunking. So they gonna stick to that part of her game. I want them to be as well rounded as young ladies like her are as the total package. Now, one thing that I've noticed was the feedback was saying that the record holder did it when they had shorter seasons. The aha moment to that is Caitlyn did it in 28 games. That girl did it in a 30-game season.
Right.
Aha.
Right. So in other Caitlin Clark news over the weekend, she also received another tech. This time for slamming the baseline after missing a shot. And unfortunately, the larger issue is that means she's now only 2 techs away from a 1-game suspension.
Yeah.
So that's definitely something that we need to keep our eye on. I know that her coach had a talk with her after this, and hopefully that doesn't affect anything, especially since they are now in playoff contention. Go ahead.
It's an unwarranted tech. The tech was stupid. And it's sad because she plays with passion and emotion. So she's gotten her fair share, I guess, if you want to call it that, of techs to get her to this point. You know, this one ain't do it, right? But at the same time, it was a dumb tech. And I would imagine that her conversation with her coach was similar to a conversation I had with a coach when I was in foul trouble and still had a quarter and a half to go. I'm going to trust you. You have to allow me to trust you. So you have to be responsible for not getting these next 2 texts or whatever have you to get you a suspension.
Right.
Because sometimes you could be spiraling, but when you get to that point where it's like, no, this is about to get a little different, you have to adjust. That's where you mature. That's where you mature. That's where you learn. And then you realize that this whistle, you think people forget, she grew up her whole life playing with boys. Boys are allowed to do that.
Yeah.
That's completely fine. That's why I say it's unwarranted. But she has to get adjusted to, when you go pro, you have to get adjusted to the speed of the game and the whistle. And that's in every sport.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And these are growing pains with somebody that spends a lot of time on the court.
Absolutely.
A lot of time. The whole time that she's on the court, the game is in her hands. So it's like, it's a lot. I think she'll get adjusted, but I don't like the tech. I don't like the tech at all, and I really hope that her coach's conversation wasn't a scolding. I hope it was a conversation of, well, this is where we at. This is what I need you to do. And I believe that you have the emotional and athletic intelligence to be able to get us through this without us having to lose you when we might need you.
I agree. I hope
that's what the conversation
that was the tone. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the other thing that happened is she was also 1 assist away from tying another record for consecutive games with 20-plus points and 10-plus assists. Unfortunately, when she was only 1 assist away, at 1 minute and 17 seconds left, she was pulled from the game along with the rest of the starters for the team, as well as the opposing team, who initiated this sub out. Now, some folks are speculating that there is a coach's pact where if one team takes out their starters, the other team is supposed to take out their starters at the end of the game when it's a blowout situation where the winner has already been decided. But we've seen the Chicago Sky, for instance, definitely play into Angel Reese and her potential records. So I still think it's worth mentioning that the Fever did not do the same. So what do you think about this, another potential record? And do you agree with the Fever's coach's decision?
I think the Angel situation is a little different because this was initiated by some kind of mercy agreement in professional sports that I don't understand. I don't understand it. When Angel was trying to get the other, what she needed, one more point or something, or one more rebound, she was like one away from the record, right?
Yeah.
She was out there on the court fighting for it, and they was locking her up. This is something where, for some reason, everybody gets a participation trophy type of thing. Like, this is weird. And I had the conversation with you. And I think it takes me back to my original point about slapping the ground and how that tech wasn't warranted. Why in women's professional sports are they obligated to honor the fact that you took your starters out the game when we were blowing y'all out? Do y'all know what we seen happen in sports when people let up off the gas in small amount of times with huge deficits?
Yeah.
Like, I don't even understand the philosophy behind it. Like, I got to take mine out because you took yours out?
That's why I don't believe this idea that there's
Complain
a coach's
in the
pact.
press conference.
I can't believe it.
It doesn't make sense.
And, like, even if there is, you are still your own person who gets to make your own decisions. Like, you don't need to follow it.
Yeah, I don't understand that. And then the other news was Skylar Diggins bumping her for no reason.
Yeah, saw that too.
Skylar did the fast. What's her name? Skylar Diggins Harris now. I know she has a married name now.
Oh.
So I don't want to be disrespectful, but I remember her from high school. When she was in high school, she was Skylar Diggins. So I mean no disrespect for not knowing your hyphenated name. But that bump was crazy.
Definitely was.
And
She
it wasn't
sped
crazy.
up and all that.
Yeah, it wasn't crazy because it was ultra violent. It was crazy because you can literally see that you put a couple more MPHs on your feet to get there.
Right.
You damn near should have just skipped. Like you was on V-way. But the thing is, it's funny because that's the cool, like in sports, that's what happens. You know, little stuff after the play. Sometimes the flag get thrown, sometimes the whistle get blown, sometimes it don't. But like, you know, that's the thing. I'm gonna walk past you, I'm gonna bump you, I'm gonna make sure I'm so close to you if I don't bump you that you like, yo, what was that? Like, these things is part of it, so I like to see it. But it was just funny because one is Skylar and two, that was hating. But hate, like, I don't think you could say hating in sports. You see what I'm saying? I don't want you breaking no record on me. That's part of sports.
Yeah.
It's part of sports.
It is. It is.
And I think that's what the public's not getting, and I think that it's because they keep putting them people in this woman's box. I really don't understand these mercy rules in professional sports. I
don't either. I mean, I understand if, like, it's a decided game and you don't want your starters to be out there because they risk injury. That's the part of it I understand.
My decision for my team. That's
right.
Not based on who you sub in and out the game. Now, we could play the whole game where every time you got Durant on the floor, I got a certain player on the floor. Every time Durant rests, I take that player off the floor so he can rest to guard Durant. Next time Durant goes to the table, he goes to the table. But at the end of the game, that might not be the situation no more.
Now, I think this particular record, I agree with you. This is one that she can easily get again and is not that big of a deal.
Right.
3 consecutive games
Yeah, because that's not what I care about.
20-plus points and 10-plus assists. Like, that's totally within Caitlin Clark's reach again.
That's not what I care about.
She could do it again this season.
Yeah, because I'm pretty... I told you this about Angel with the double-doubles. I think Angel's going to average a double-double. Like, these things come easy to these young ladies, and they're only getting better.
Yeah.
So the fact that she didn't reach another milestone in a short amount of time, when I'm pretty sure she'll still hit that, is like, that's not the issue. The issue is, what are we doing? You started by saying that part of the speculation is that these coaches have an unwritten rule of solidarity that what the hell does that have to do with sport?
Right.
And is it a point like? Is it like, you know how like if you head chef in the kitchen, if you manipulate the menu and do things to save a lot of money this year, then you get a percentage of the savings that the company would have spent on the food as a kickback. This ain't that with points.
No.
This ain't the Olympics where it matters how much you won by because it might come down to that.
Right.
I don't understand it. It doesn't make sense.
No. I agree with you.
So maybe that's not a thing, but it looks like it's a thing and it's weird.
I 100% agree.
All right, I'm cool.
All right, let's move on to Angel Reese.
Let's do it. I need to put that on the soundboard.
Add it to the list.
Man, I be going up, don't I?
Right?
I got some space though.
Only a couple left.
10.
So, over the weekend, Angel Reese also got her 20th double-double. So now that she is the fastest rookie to complete that feat.
Mm-hmm.
Let me start there. That's a record. And additionally, she is only 2 double-doubles away from having the most for any rookie. So shout out to Angel Reese.
I just clapped for a potential record. That's how much I believe she's going to get it.
There's plenty of games left in the season.
It ain't that many though. And they got a good schedule.
That's true. They got a tough schedule coming up. Yeah. So, any other WNBA stuff?
No, I just want to reiterate the same thing I've been saying. Angel Reese is a double-double machine, but similar to what I've said it before, and I've seen Caps from Angry Fans saying it a lot recently on his page. This summer off, or not summer, her break after the season, when she's able to work out and do her own workouts and specify things to her growth, I think we'll see a way better Angel Reese next year, because right now she's literally a lot of the times throwing the ball at the rim and getting it back, or she's great at positioning for rebounding, but she doesn't shoot with authority around the rim like Asia does, and she has to learn that, and I think she will. So I just want to say salute to her for all she's accomplished, but I'm excited about what she's going to be, because y'all don't even realize she's hitting these numbers and she's still not there yet. Like, she has another level she can go to if she stays healthy. And I hate saying stay healthy, but that is part of sports. And two, she's had a lot of knee issues in the past.
I'm laughing at the YouTube chat. Shout out to Daddy Chill. He said, well, if it isn't the Brick Queen herself, Clark has way better stats, Clark has more records, and Clark's team has more wins.
Bro, I ain't arguing with the Brick Queen at all. I was just talking about, I guess you were saying that what I was saying it, but I ain't.
He said it right before you mentioned it, yeah.
I ain't arguing with the Brick Queen at all, yo. It's
and
very
he said
strange.
Clark is playing like trash and still has better stats.
Well, I don't think she's playing like trash.
No, I think she's
she's
adjusting pretty well.
I think she's so skilled that we don't look at her through the lens of a rookie. Like, she's still a rookie.
Right.
She's still supposed to fuck up a little. Maxie is Maxie now. We from Philly, right? Right?
Yeah.
We had no idea Maxie would get to this point. She's showing shit that we didn't see out of Maxie in his first year. So that's not trash.
And Daddy Chill just said, this isn't Clark's final form. We agree there. Absolutely.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, we waiting for they haven't even discovered their superpowers yet. And that's why I said about Caitlyn earlier about how people are just going to say, well, she shoots the long jump shots, and they're not paying attention to the other things she has. When she stops turning the ball over as much as she was in the beginning, which she actually got better at, it's a different animal. You're going to be talking about Steve Nash with a jump shot. I think Caitlyn different when it comes to that. Like, you're going to see Steve Nash with a jump shot, and it's going to be ugly. It's going to be ugly. So I agree with you. I'm with you on the Caitlyn shit. But my thing is not even a compete, not to make it so competitive between them, because it's been that this whole time, and it's the whole Magic Bird thing, and I get it. But they're both excellent athletes, and they're both got a lot of room for growth, and they're both in a position to sell a lot of the league and products and make young women comfortable with being the young women that they are because they are superstars and they are not the same kind of superstar. Right? They night and day of each other. So I think that's fly too. So I think that we need all of that for the future.
He said, in college, she didn't start dropping 30 a game. Good point guards have a lot of turnovers.
No, the crazy thing is, it's why I said the Nash thing. Because sometimes Nash just was trying shit. And when he turned it over, it was like, well, you know why that was, you know what I mean? It is what it is. But she's going to, I think, as somebody that has the mentality that she has, yeah, I think she'll be dope. I think that we're going to see something that, like, people are looking at it like this is her ceiling. She's a rookie.
Mm-hmm.
She's a rookie. Whatever she did this year, 3 years from now, she's not going to do the bad things anymore. It's just going to add on to the good that she does. Even if she maintains the same range of point assist ratio, without the turnovers, a little less of them and a little less of the whatevers and better decision making, you're going to be looking at a different animal.
Absolutely.
Even if she averages the same range of points and assists, it's going to be a different animal. It's going to be so efficient. And that's what I'm talking about.
You ready to talk NBA
Appreciate
news?
you though, bro. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Just tap in. We ain't done. Yeah, stick around.
Oh, he just said Indiana has been losing for 7 years, even with Mitchell being on the team for years.
No, that's a fact, but that's why they keep getting first.
And then Renko Brenzik said stat pad Reese.
Yo. Like I said, man, I can defend what she's good at. I can't defend what she's bad at.
All right. So in NBA news, a picture recently surfaced of Zion after his off-season diet, and he has definitely lost a lot of weight and looks like he's in much better shape going into this year than he was last year. What are your thoughts on this here?
Are you aware of why he did this?
I knew he had a goal going into the off-season.
He has a clause in his contract that is in negotiations for 2025, 2026 is based on his weight and his conditioning.
Wow.
It's the same thing. You know, he's still young in the league. This is his original situation, which is what made a lot of people skeptical about him earlier on, because one, they didn't know if he could stay healthy at that size, and two, they knew that he was an indulgent young man in New Orleans.
Right.
Where all the food at. So there's another part to this that nobody's really discussed yet, and I know it's going to come up all week, probably. As much of a massive force of an athlete that he was, part of that was that he was so big and so athletic. Does him being this slim take something away from his intimidation or his effectiveness? Now, as much as I think he'll play more games at this weight, right?
Yeah.
Eat better on the joints and all
Much
of that.
better on the
Easier to
joints,
land. As
yeah.
high as you jump, it's better to land with 40 pounds less on your shoulders, right? But I'm really interested to see if like what is the skinny Zion game? Does it look like Greek Freak? Like, what's the skin? And he's not built like him, but I'm just saying, like, is it like a more
Is it more agile?
yeah, like, does the game adjust with the weight?
That's a good question.
And I think that's something that I see him. He looks great, and salute him. He's dedicated and committed to something besides being in the tabloids, and that's beautiful. But like, I really want to know if this translates into the same Zion, or like if he go out there and try to be Durant or somebody. I don't know. What we doing?
The chat's going crazy. Let me catch you up.
All right, let's go.
So Renko said, winky face. Daddy Chill said, Reese is 14 for 40 since coming back. Then Daddy Chill said, what the fuck? That is not Zion.
That's him, bro.
Renko said, Zion is fit, not Shaq and Charles baby anymore.
That's crazy, right?
And he said, no deep fake, question mark?
No, this is real shit.
This is real.
This with the babies and all that. This
Yeah.
is the thing.
And Daddy Chill said, exactly, he should have kept more weight on. Renko said, looks like KG physically now.
Hold on. Go back to the last one. Who said what?
Daddy Chill said, exactly, he should have kept more weight on.
So Daddy Chill, you feel me, right? Like, I don't know if this skinny was necessary, but also I've been around professional football players a lot. I party with quite a few of them, and in the off season, they're 40, 60 even pounds lighter than they're going to be during the season, and they put that weight back on. Maybe not all of it, but yeah. So I don't know if this is final form either. But I just wanted to stop on that. Go ahead.
Renko said, looks like KG physically now.
It's crazy.
And then Daddy Chill said, Jokic is 300 pounds.
Bruh, motherfuckers look like they eat deli meat all day and they getting buckets. Luka and Jokic getting buckets. And we seen them at the deli counter. And we seen them drink all summer. Like, it's crazy. You know what's crazy? Joker got what, bronze? Mm-hmm. And he partied like it was 1999. He ain't do shit when he won a championship. He wanted to go home and sleep. Like, yo, it's different, man. You gotta look at how they looking at us, man. These Olympics show, like, the things people are getting from the Olympics, you actually get during the season. When you see how Jokic, somebody like Jokic, treats the NBA, he's just going there for a check. He want to represent his country all day, though. It's crazy. It's crazy. No, but shout out to Zion, man. I just want to see how this translates. I think that, like, hopefully he put another 20 or so on before things get to swinging. But, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I think he looks good, and I think he needs to train the agility side of things before he puts that weight on. So I'm not mad at him entering the season in this exact shape. That's how I feel.
Does he play a different position at this shape?
You know, he could, but he doesn't have to. He is a more versatile player at this shape, and that's what's important.
No, this is a hell of a transformation, and I'm not laughing because of, like, he looks funny. I'm laughing because, like, this is something we didn't even think was possible from him. So it's like you didn't even think, like, damn, does Zion become more of a slasher than a banger and a... Is he on the wing clapping? Like, what we getting? And is that what they signed him for? What if Zion dropped to a position they don't need?
I don't think that's possible.
Not on that team.
No.
That would be funny, though. But if he wanted out, and niggas was like, no, we wanted you, around 320. That's crazy. Let's get out of Zion. But shout out to him, man. That showed dedication, and hopefully stress didn't have nothing to do with it, because you had a wild tabloid year.
Absolutely.
You was vicious, boy. You living your little life, young boy.
But he looked happy and healthy, and I'm happy for him.
As long as some of the kids happy, man, I ain't got nothing to do with the rest of that. Just make sure when I go on them apps, you get my over under right. That's all I care about.
All right, are you ready to talk about the Sixers?
You are.
I absolutely am.
I ain't gonna lie. It's a goodie.
It sure is.
It's a goodie.
So, since we last talked about the Sixers and their recent trade moves, we have also acquired Caleb Martin. And now, most recently, hold on, let me make sure I say his name correctly.
Thanks, Sammy.
Oh.
Get down on the ground. Get down on the ground.
Gershon Yabusele.
That's close. Yeah, that. Yabusele sounds about right. Yeah, you good.
All right. So, since I have it in front of me, I just wanted to update you guys on what this means and where we're at as a team going into our roster for this upcoming season. Because
you so hyped. Look at you. You just got excited.
Nuts.
That's crazy.
It's nuts.
Getting him was a game changer, yo.
Yes, it was.
For $2 million? Are you crazy?
Right. 1 year contract, like.
Oh my god, y'all got him for the men, and he just trashed the U.S. Like, that's crazy.
That's why I chose the picture I chose.
That's crazy, yo. That's when he dunked on the Brian.
All right, let me get into this.
All right.
So, at point, we have Maxey, of course, as our starter. But as far as depth, we still have Kyle Lowry, and we have Reggie Jackson.
Crazy.
Now, moving into shooting guard, we have Kelly Oubre Jr., who was our starter last year at the end of the season. We also now have Eric Gordon. We picked up Jarek McCain in the draft, but he might end up spending some time in the G League, so we'll see what ends up happening with him.
Yeah.
At small
Which is fine.
forward, right, he was a draft pick. Perfect. At small forward, we have Paul George.
Crazy.
We still have Gordon on the bench.
Wow.
We have Ricky Council IV, who has been making a crazy storm out of the fucking Summer League.
Yep.
And then we have some other players who might end up down in the G League. Power forward. We have Caleb Martin.
Crazy.
We have KJ Martin.
Crazy.
We have Gashawn Yabusele. And we have Ricky Council if we want to throw him in here.
The crazy thing is, Yabusele is moving up that list.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. And then at center, of course, we have Joel Embiid. We also now have Andre Drummond.
Crazy.
And from the draft, we picked up Aden Boma, which I hope that we keep him on roster. I think that he'll gain a lot from seeing Joel Embiid every single day and learning from him. And also, I like having a little extra depth in that position because we all know that Joel's knees, ankles, whatever else, I don't want to risk it.
Shoulders, knees, and toes. Golly.
But I just had to update you. I'm excited. This
you know
is crazy.
No, I think that
This is our year to lose.
I think y'all getting Yabusele, if I'm saying his name correctly. I think that that officially put y'all clearly ahead of what the moves the Knicks made in the offseason.
Yeah.
I think I think everybody that watched the Olympics was saying, why isn't he on my team? And it didn't matter who was on your team, because you figure he's somebody that said that he chased the NBA for a long time and he was over chasing it. He gonna let it come to him, and he went crazy for multiple games. I know a lot of people only saw the USA game, but when the game came on, what did I say? I named 3 players, and he was one of them, right?
Right.
And I was like, no, he tough. And he bought it. So I think he would fit into any program because with what I'm saying being said, along with the fact that he signed to the Sixers for the league minimum for a year, he's somebody you can get to come off a bench at any team. Name a team that can't use the Yabusele.
Right.
It don't make sense. Like when your big man is in there making sure he healthy all season, when he go to sit down and get his 2, 3, 5 minute break, you get to put him in?
And now the Paul George move is so much more perfect.
Crazy. So crazy.
Because if you have him and Paul George, then the whole conversation about Paul George being injury prone in addition to Embiid somewhat goes out the window.
I think similar to the Olympics, at that point the offense moves better with him and Paul on the floor than him and Embiid Embiid and Paul on the floor. I'm just saying. The way Maxey play, what Paul is made to do, and the way Yabusele seem to like to give it up, Embiid slows down shit, man.
But that's when you throw in Drummond.
And that's crazy. I don't know, man. It's going to be exciting. See, there's going to be a lot of jerseys going around, man.
I definitely need to get some tickets. I need to be in the stands this year.
And even though he's on the team for the league minimum and for 1 year only, they need to make them Yabusele jerseys. They going to sell. His whole country going to buy it. And that's equivalent. That's enough, I should say. Right?
I agree.
Yeah, make sure y'all make them jerseys. I might get one for him. He was phenomenal in the Olympics. I ain't gonna lie. It was scary. And he'll bring the ball up the court or meet you as soon as you get to half court and do his thing. Or he'll bang in the... Yeah, he's a monster. I like it. What they saying in the chat?
Nothing new.
All right, cool. So let's get to the next topic.
Clearly they aren't Sixers fans.
Yeah, they don't care about that shit.
Yeah,
they
it's
mad.
fine.
No, they mad they ain't getting him. I'm
It's
telling
fine.
you, there is not... This was the Olympics. There is not a city that watched the Olympics that saw that game and saw what he was doing that didn't think they could use him. I think that's a big fact. He could have been a Laker. Crazy.
All right, let's stay on basketball.
He'll come off the bench happily. Oh, man, we need him.
Why don't you introduce this one?
All right, so shout out to Ice Cube and the Big Three. They had a celebrity all-star type of game situation, and a lot of Philly was involved. Shout out to Gillian Wallow. If you watch the adventures, I believe, of Gillian Wallow, you see the highlights and the behind the scenes and all of that of the game and that day and the situation. And as usual, Gilly showed up to catch wreck. And I don't give a fuck what you say and who you are. There's only about a handful of people that has stopped Gilly from being Gilly on a basketball court that we have seen on camera. And that's phenomenal for what he's been doing out here this last handful. I heard somebody say Gilly's been a part of every celebrity game for the last 6 years. I think when Kev was ready to phase out, Gil took over. And the crazy thing is, Kev isn't half the athlete or basketball player that Gil is. But Kev was getting MVPs and shit just being a Philly nigga. Like, just being a nigga with a decent game that knows how to manipulate the situation, right?
Right.
But this Gilly shit different, yo. So in this game, Gilly is guarding a professor from N1. Flau'jae is guarding Bree Green from every YouTube video you ever seen Bree Green, and she get busy, overseas legend, all of that. Something James was on Gilly team. Somebody had jump out the building. He was just jumping over people and blocking their shots. Like, but the highlights was the first 4 people I said.
Okay.
Wallow got out there and got a couple buckets and got busy and was pretty efficient. Michael Blackson went out there with some brand new Jordans that he probably bought from somebody in the crowd because they wasn't his original sneaks, and then just started jacking up shit. Like he don't know how to shoot. He shoot like a kid. It was weird. And Gilly and the professor was putting on the show, and Flau'jae and Bree Green was going at each other, something phenomenal. And it was a very entertaining game. I keep saying Gilly, but Professor is somebody on a basketball court. His entertainment comes from what he's able to get off, his ball control, the way he's able to manipulate things. Gilly's able to do those things, shoot the crazy shots while talking shit, talk to the crowd, pose, lay on the floor, crack jokes. He's smiling the whole time. Like, but it's like he has an intensity, but he's always, it's like I'm partying and y'all not. That's kind of how Gil gives it up. And that's kind of what he did in this game. So for the 3rd year in a row, Gil won MVP of the Big Three celebrity game. And I ain't gonna lie, Flau'jae was on his team, and she was a very close second. She could have got MVP too. She was going nuts out there. She showed against Bree Green, who was a female hooper that I respect immensely, and Kay knows that. Mm-hmm. She showed that she plays like no, I do this. And Bree got her shit off.
That's what's up.
But there was moments where Flau'jae just looked like, nah, baby girl, I'm going to the league soon. You know what I mean? It's a little different.
Might be this year, right? She might be declaring this year. That's the thought.
Is she eligible? They got to be 21 or something. It's a weird. They got a year thing. They got an age thing.
Oh, they have an age thing now?
Yeah, they got an age thing. So.
Oh, so she might need 1 or 2 more.
Yeah, it's 1 or 2. I'm not clear on that. You can look it up if you want to. But the WNBA thing is an age thing. It's what makes it all weird anyway. That's why they benefited more from the NIL in a lot of ways than probably some of the men. You see what I'm saying? Because they had the opportunity to make money while they were waiting to age out, where the men don't have to worry about that. You found it?
I'm looking.
Yeah, it's a thing. Look at the requirements for the WNBA to be eligible for the WNBA. I'm looking at the future topics while she's doing that, and I guess we sticking to sports for a little bit too. Or we gonna bounce around and come back? How you wanted to run that?
No, we can stay here.
All right,
we can stay here. I can't find it anywhere. It's not coming up.
If y'all found it in the chat, let us know. But I'm pretty sure it's age based because I've seen plenty of conversations about the future of some of these young ladies, and it's like, well, she still got to play. Still got to play in college. She can't get drafted. So where we going now?
All right, let's go to Noah Lyles.
Your fave.
Let's talk about the latest controversy that Noah got himself into.
Noah Lyles isn't the track star that feel like he was from reality TV.
Yes.
It's like he's not on one of those shows, but he feels like we know him from one of those shows. Just because we know so much about him personality wise and being what a star is, like elaborate and extravagant and stuff like that. It's like we know more about him than we knew about Usain Bolt and Michael Johnson, and they was huge stars.
Yep.
It's a little different in this generation, and he one of them. He taking advantage.
Yep.
From his entrance into the races to the commercials and got all the kids doing the dances. He a bull. But go ahead, Kat.
So, most recently, in addition to his ongoing feud with the NBA,
Right.
Tyreek Hill now has challenged Noah Lyles to a 50-meter dash because he thinks that he is faster than him at 50 meters. Now, we do know that Tyreek Hill is the fastest person in the NFL currently, but that doesn't necessarily make him a track star.
Exactly.
So first off, do you think that this challenge is even remotely realistic?
I think it's realistic. I think they both, one, have enough profile and money to get it done just for shits and giggles, but they could also get like some real backing behind it, or like create some kind of traction, or even use the tools that are at our access now, just as far as visibility, right? Also, I'm from a generation, like I went to Roman Catholic, and I wasn't there when it happened, but Marvin Harrison, the football player, the wide receiver, the legend, raced the fastest track runner in the city on Broad Street and won. And that's a thing, but if you ain't from Philly, you don't know that's a thing. You don't even know Marv was that ill. Marv was literally the best athlete in the city when he was wide receiver at Roman Catholic. Played ball too. But the way it's set up, right? Noah Lyles' strength, 100, 200, right? He asked for 50. Because in order to be the fastest in the NFL, you don't have to run the whole 100. How many yards you really taking the ball? Right? So the 50 gives a fairer thing. It's based on your immediate explosion and how to maintain that versus the other person. And it's a way shorter distance to have to maintain speed at, right? I think that if Noah is as arrogant as I think he is, and I'm not saying arrogant in a bad way, trust me, I don't got nothing against nobody that's great being arrogant. I think this could happen, and I think it'll be dope, and I think it'll be cool for sport and a way to bridge like certain gaps. Like we all respect each other as personalities, athletes, or whatever have you. Find dope shit to do together. I think that'd be dope.
So that actually leads me into my second question. One of the things that Noah Lyles has been continuously campaigning on is that he wants to raise awareness for track and the athletes who run track, tell their stories, and bring track athletes to the forefront and celebrate it in the same way that we celebrate other sports athletes. So with all of this controversy that we keep talking about in terms of Noah Lyles and other sports, do you think that this is a good tactic in terms of raising awareness for track and field?
I think that, and I think the other thing that he's been going viral for lately, which is his controversy with Adidas when it came to the Anthony Edwards situation and them inviting him to an Anthony Edwards party for his signature shoe and him not having a signature shoe and all of that. And I watched on Club Shay Shay when Ocho and Shannon was talking to Noah Lyles. Noah was pleading his case for why he should have a shoe, and Shannon said, well, the superhero Noah Lyles wears spikes. And Noah made an argument that he doesn't train in spikes. He doesn't work out in spikes. He doesn't walk around in spikes. And that a lot of athletes wear track shoes and this, you know what I mean? The in between shoes. What was he calling them? Tennis shoes.
Mm-hmm.
He kept saying tennis shoes, tennis shoes, tennis shoes. So what he's basically saying is he wants a more of a lifestyle brand or more of a brand that actually fits the times when it comes to the shoe, because everybody's wearing Asics, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
So if you design a no allows Adidas that is equivalent to something that is workout ready, walk ready, jog ready, right? It might work, but all that to say that I just think that this is the perfect way to say this is another way that we get interest that's not part of what y'all set up. A lot of times you'll get attention and they'll say, well, you got attention because you was on NBC. Right?
Right.
You set this up, they stream it live on Twitch or something, and it goes crazy. Different bags coming in. They done created a whole nother income for both of those brothers, and he helped prove his point a little more proof of concept. So, yeah. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, cool. I like it, though. I want to see it. And I don't think it's as far-fetched as people think it is. Look up Marvin Harrison, fastest man in the city.
All right.
Yeah, it's a thing. They raced on Broad Street. They shut Broad Street down. It was crazy.
My last sports-related topic is about Simone Biles. So
I knew you wanted to touch on this one.
I do.
Because she's so cute.
I love Simone.
She is, though. She's adorable, and she's a superhero.
Yeah. So her husband is, of course, in the middle of his NFL preseason. And she attended one of his games. And she wore a jacket. Now, Jonathan Owens plays for the Bears currently.
Right.
And as you can see from the photo, Simone's jacket was a Green Bay jacket, which is a historic rivalry. For Philly natives, it would be like wearing a Dallas Cowboys jacket.
That's a Green Bay jacket?
Yes.
I thought it had him on it.
It does. So
Okay.
last year, he played for Green Bay for the entire year.
Oh, that's a Thobeezy.
So
She wore
this
last year's
jacket is a compilation of photos of him all over it.
Oh.
So she's really wearing a jacket that supports him,
She doing a big one. This her Olympic jacket for him.
but you can see, they can't see it, but I'm pointing on my mouse to Sam. You can see the Green Bay logo right here on her shoulder. So she definitely caught a lot of flack on the internet. Folks were saying that she shouldn't have even been able to get in wearing that jacket. All sorts of ridiculous things.
Nigga, that's Simone Biles.
In her defense, it's preseason. She didn't wear it to an actual in-season game.
It's an ode to him. It don't matter where she wears
Right,
it.
it's cute. It made a good outfit. And what else are you going to match with a boot?
Yo, you funny. You like a bucket hat? Huh? What'd
She-
you think about the bucket hat?
She can actually pull off a bucket hat.
Oh, she could pull off a bucket hat. Okay. All right. Duly noted. No, we listening.
Oh, okay.
Who hips and thighs is those in the picture? No, you don't know? Oh,
Uh,
that was her companion.
Yeah, her friend. I don't know.
We don't know her, I don't think. I don't know if she's famous or not. But yeah, that was the girl that was walking through with her. I saw her.
Yeah.
She's got some good legs. She might be in the gym too.
All right.
And glutes? Oh. Huh?
You ready to move on?
Yeah, man. Shout out Simone Biles though.
Let's get into some hip-hop news.
Let's do it.
I'm going to let you introduce this one.
So, over the weekend, 50 was in Shreveport, Louisiana, having an event to promote everything he has going on right now, including the studio that he built out there in the fashion of what Tyler Perry has in Atlanta. So, but the biggest and the brightest was all out there. Everybody was out there mingling. 50 was throwing money in the clubs. Clarissa Shields was out there, rappers was performing, peoples was mingling. It was a lot going on. And Hurricane Chris decided that since he wasn't involved and wasn't invited to perform, that he wanted to make a public announcement. And to sum up his announcement, he started with "If You Hip Hop," which is all people paint the box they about to put you in, right? When they start, they rant like, well, if you say you this, then this is why I can say this, right? He did one of them Jones, and shout out to Hurricane Chris. No problem with him. Salute to you. You're a legend in a lot of ways on your own. But he started saying that 50 only is out there because they have cheap land and cheap property, which is part of when you're a black man trying to build a studio. Yes, you're absolutely going to Atlanta or Louisiana or somewhere that you can fucking get something cheap and put something on because you don't have the budget to create what the major studios have, but you do have the resources if you could save on land. Right? Mm-hmm. And then he said, he ain't include none of us. He ain't call this. He ain't call that. He ain't call me. He ain't even go get Boosie and Webby. In hindsight, Master P was on the stage. Other Louisiana, New Orleans artists were participants. What's his name? Fredo Bang. Okay. Was a part of it. Mm-hmm. He spoke out. He said, well, shit, if none of us, who the fuck am I? 50, he complained about 50 donating $500,000 to the police, which just showed his ignorance, right? Because he's saying the police don't need that money. People around here need that money. A lot of businesses, a lot of Uber drivers, a lot of people that are day-to-day working people in that community, a lot of people that signed up to be a part of the festivities and get paid for it, benefited from this situation. In order to facilitate something this big in a town so small, you have to be able to pay the police to be able to pay overtime or to pay extra officers to be available to enforce the city. $500,000 is actually light because of your city being such a small city. And it comes with the territory. Overall, I'm hearing that 50 spent about $6 million to make this happen, and it was no Coca-Cola attached to it. So when Hurricane Chris put out his situation, a lot of people were quick to point out how that didn't add up. But 50 responded because 50 responds, right? Anything go viral with his name on it, he gonna say something. Right. And 50 said, nigga, your shit don't get played nowhere. Don't nobody care about your shit. You light. Basically, to summarize it. And then the world handled the rest. The internet handled the rest. But Hurricane Chris is somebody that I know loves where he's from. I'm going to be honest, right? Mm-hmm. He's somebody that carries the spirit and the energy of where he's from. Like, you see him, you know, like, yeah, that's Louisiana. He give it up. He recently just beat a body because somebody tried to do something to him because he's still a star even though he's not in the spotlight. But I think that as talented and as notable as he is and as right as he might be is very similar to our next topic, to where like you kind of got to survey the field a little deeper to make sure you're making the right commentary. That makes sense? Yeah. Because we can't keep doing what, damn, that should have been a topic. The Michael Rubin thing from this week. I forgot about that. But anyway, long story short, Michael Rubin was on Breakfast Club. He was discussing the situation with Meek Mill and how Meek Mill was treated because...
Well, why don't you get into that after we talk about the Meek Mill topic?
All right, well, I'll get into that in a minute. But basically, we got to stop being so quick to go and publicly hate on each other. Yeah. We got to have our facts right. So let's go into 50 versus Lunell real quick. All right. I love Lunell too, man. That's crazy. This ain't that deep, but I'm just saying. I hate to even have to give an opinion on what Lunell do. She's such a legend. It's like weird. That's what I mean. That makes sense?
Yeah. Shout out Pooh World 7200. He said Hurricane Chris is washed up.
I mean, washed up is cool, but he can still get $5,000 a weekend. And a lot of people can't do that.
Yep.
I don't think people understand, like, everything ain't everything. And I appreciate your comment, but, like, he's still somebody that can bay for 6 months out the year, even if that's every other month, and still come out pretty decent.
He said where?
Locally and in the chitlin circuit. You'd be surprised at how much those artists make in the South before we even hear about them and after we done with them. It's a fact.
Absolutely.
And there's a lot of people out here with money that'll bring you to a bar mitzvah just to do the. It's weird,
Yep.
but it's called entertainment.
All right, go ahead and get into Lunell.
So Lunell was another person that called out 50 this weekend or during his weekend and said that she looked at a video where she saw a lot of comedians on a plane together and she didn't notice any female comedians, but she tied it into the misogyny of the industry and called out 50 at the same time, which is like, there's levels to that, right? Like, you did a lot. So what happens is she, within telling her perspective on what she saw and even acknowledging that she doesn't have the whole scope, I want to give her credit for that, but just saying what she felt and I guess trying to tie in the other things that she represents. She said that she was on tour and she was on the road and that she wouldn't have been able to make it. So 50 responded, to make a long story short, and 50's response was, "We knew your big ass was on the road." And I'm sure he said that in jest. But the same thing you just said was what you was booked. So we was able to reach out to your people to see your schedule and to see that you weren't able to, or available to do this. And then he named some more, and Amy Schumer and some other comedians, and said, "You think I wouldn't want to have them? They on fire. They lit." Which means they're probably moving around and getting their money too. But this is another situation where, Lunell, you've done his events before. You reacted publicly, and it makes it where it's like, as an OG, did you do that to do the 50-50 thing? Now let me explain the 50-50 thing, because I'm never going to think Lunell is 100% clout chasing. But is this a thing where I reach out to my friend or my people or my business associate, but I do it in a way where I still get to promote the fact that I'm on the road? Because I think that one thing we know about anybody that puts a comedy show together, especially somebody from certain eras, we know y'all hold it down. I'm sure he wanted some females up there. And I find it hard to believe he didn't have any, but it just strikes me as odd that this was the approach that a legend made. But the flip side to that is, I recently saw pictures and videos with Lunell with Red Snapper, my sister Red Snapper, and they was having a great time and they was enjoying each other's energy and talking they talk. And when Snapper posted it, I commented, and you can go to Red Snapper page right now or later and look at it. I commented on the page, I said, "That's your aunt for real." I said, low key or something to that extent. I said, "That's your auntie." Because they have that same raw energy where they don't mind being tough, sexy, not having the same format that you're used to, whether that's physically or how they give up their comedy. I think that they have a lot in common. So Lunell was somebody that I've always damn near worshiped, but definitely appreciate so much more in these last couple weeks, because it seems as though, and I spoke to my sister since then, that she showed Red Snapper love, and I hope that she realizes how special and unique and how much Red Snapper is similar to her. Similar to when I see Deb Anthony next to Rocky. And I'm like, well, that's the same energy. This is a different generation. Right? So, shout out to Lunell. I ain't got nothing bad to say about it, but we got to be careful, man. We can't get on Michael Rubin, and I'm not defending him, but I know that his energy was in the right place, so I guess I will defend him a little bit, but that's not my place to do it. He don't need it. But at the same time, before we go public against each other, man, let's call each other. Let's figure something out. Unless you had a couple last stops that wasn't sold out, and that was a means to an end, and you called 50 or texted 50 and said, "Hey, I'm going to make a little play and get 100,000 views real quick," and 50 said, "Salute, baby, I love you." We might not know. Like, that's the other thing about when we discuss some of this stuff. sometimes people communicate behind the scenes and be like, well, I gotta run a play real quick.
All right, since you keep alluding to it, let's talk about Michael Rubin.
What you got to say about Michael Rubin, Kay?
Nothing. I think that you should introduce this.
Oh, this is okay. That ain't what my topic said.
That's because you keep alluding to the Michael Rubin thing, so I want you to introduce the Michael Rubin thing first, and then I'll change it to your topic.
So, the Michael Rubin interview on the Breakfast Club. That's what you're talking about.
Yes.
On the Breakfast Club, Charlamagne and Envy, Lauren LaRosa was in on it, but like she wasn't shooting these questions at him. But shout out to Lauren LaRosa, you do a great job. There was a lot of clearing up some of the pictures and things that went viral involving Michael Rubin and Meek Mill and Lil Baby and other stars that have been dragged through the ringer because of pictures that they took when partying with billionaires, right? Mm-hmm. That's what it basically has been. So Michael Rubin made some comments where he was saying that he hates to see, he kept saying black hate on hate. And it's funny because he meant, and this is me taking liberties, but what he was referring to was black on black hate. But it's hard to say black on black hate when you're a white Jewish man. So he kept saying black hate on hate, right?
Yeah. So
this is the reference point. He went viral because he was saying he was actually making reference to some things that happened with Meek in the past and what happened with his judge and his probation situation and how Meek had to bring him to an understanding of a lot of things and how powerful he thinks what Meek is doing and that has done and is capable of is, and how Meek gets so much backlash and resistance when it comes to like judges and the law and all of that from his own people. And he was saying, he even said that he knows he's not necessarily qualified to speak on it, but it's something that he speaks to his friends about that are of the culture. And it bothers him because it's like, why isn't this somebody you would want to champion? Why don't you build people up? He actually said, I wouldn't care if you did something that was 99% beneficial for you and not beneficial for me at all if that makes you happy. And that's his mentality and his way of thinking. Now, him being a white man, a Jewish man on a huge platform, of course he caught backlash. And I'm not even mad at certain point of views on what he said or how it was delivered. But if you watch the whole interview like I did, he was actually uncomfortable delivering it. And Charlamagne actually gave him a transition into repeating it and being a little more clear on what he meant by it after the first time he said it. Mm-hmm. But then what nobody is showing is directly after that, Charlamagne asked him, what do you think about Jewish on Jewish hate? And he responded to that also. And that didn't go nowhere. Nobody saw this. And this is why I say I watched the whole interview. Because he literally said, I'm a Jew, I'm Jewish. I don't want to misquote or say the words wrong. But he was saying I'm Jewish because I was born Jewish. I'm not so much religious. But he said my sister is up there in the synagogue. And she's the opposite. Like, she's all in on the whole religion side of it. And there's a respect there and there's an understanding there. But he doesn't like that either. He doesn't like the disconnect either, right? So it did touch on his culture also. And I think that was smart for Charlamagne to be somebody to know how to nudge the conversation a little bit.
Right.
To where if you would have watched the whole thing, you might have felt him a little better. But I understand that we're in a clip culture. And if you watch that segment of what he said, it doesn't even present as a clip because it's not 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Right? So it looks like you have all the context when you watch 3 minutes or something.
Yeah. I get you.
Yeah, so my thing about one thing that he said while he was on there is he said, and he actually said, I hope Meek doesn't mind me saying this, but me and Meeks Lids investment, because Charlamagne brought up the Lids investment, he said, me and Meeks Lids investment was the best investment Meek ever made. And they said, what that mean? He said, Meek invested $200,000 and made $8 million in 5 years. And I just want to do this.
I know that's right. Good for him.
But the reason why I wanted to make sure I got through the first part first, which is what you was actually directing me to do, is because this is somebody that walk it like he talk it. He opened up an opportunity with Fanatics and with Lids and with all of that where Meek can be an investor, where he can give him advice and say, this is a play. This is something that we could turn up. You already know what the hats do. We just got to do this.
Not
right?
only that, Meek's a co-owner
Yep.
of Lids.
Yeah. Of
Like,
the whole franchise. Lids was
ownership.
in every other mall in the country.
Yep.
I don't
Yep.
know if it's still like that, but that's a big deal.
Yeah.
200,000 made $8 million off of that. That's a flip.
That's heavy.
Y'all looking at chains like, where do chains come from?
Talk about return on investment. That's fucking heavy.
Yeah, so I just think that that's something that needed to be said because amongst all the nonsense that's going on with whatever people are interpreting from the conversation,
Mm-hmm.
Meek is one of us, man. He from Philly. We watched him grow up. We don't agree with everything he say or do, but that's not our place. He is not us. He's somebody that's out here showing these kids that they can do it and doing some real things for the community and his family. And I think that even though he might not have wanted the world to know that, that's a billionaire saying that he's proud of an investment that he made with a young North Philly nigga. And I think that's fly shit. I think that's fly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So. How many of your big homies ushered you to millions? Thousands even. Y'all judging him because of the bunny hop.
I don't have that type
Oh,
of
that's
big
the
homie.
other thing he said. Meek got dragged through the mud for the bunny hop video. Everybody assumed that the billionaires set the bet. Meek said, we both horrible at tennis, so we gonna bet some bullshit. When I was locked up, we used to bet bunny hops. This is crazy, right? Because nobody would assume this. And Rick Rubin said, what is a bunny hop? And if you remember the video, it's not just doing this. It's a whole process. He said they used to do that in jail. So if Mike Rubin would have lost, he would have been more uncomfortable doing it than Meek was because Meek was doing it in jail. But it was his wager, is what I'm saying. And that's one thing nobody would have ever assumed. They would have thought that Meek was doing weird shit for these white guys. Where he initiated the bullshit because he was enjoying whatever time they was having, I guess. And he was like, this is what we used to do when we was locked up. So I ain't know you niggas was locked up doing a bunny hop. But Michael Rubin said y'all in jail doing a bunny hop. That's what I'm saying. He said Meek said it. I'm just saying. But it's a good interview, man. Actually, Mike Rubin don't talk a whole lot in long form. He usually does good interviews. If you watch interviews about his come up, it's inspiring. He's not he doesn't come from real money. He come from more money than most of us, but not no real money.
So I think I want to take a break from hip hop and get the politics out the way.
Please do. It's your turn.
That's kind of what I figured.
Yeah, man. Got me working.
Yeah, I gave you quite a few in a row.
We doing good, though. We making good time. Everybody on TikTok, everybody on Twitch, everybody on YouTube, y'all good? No comments we got to attend to?
Oh, Lito said my dog.
Lito!
Keith Freeman sent a ghost and a salute in the chat.
Appreciate you, man. Ghost Lee.
Ghostly, yep. Pooh World, who we were talking to earlier when we were talking about Hurricane Chris, he just chimed in before and said, ain't nobody listening to Dude and ain't heard a Dude in 15 years.
I heard you, man. I ain't mad at you. Like, these is things I ain't trying to argue unless you say something crazy. But there is a check in being a star and having a big record, and he had actually two.
All right, let's get some politics out the way.
He can go overseas for it.
Tonight is the first night of the Democratic National Convention out in Chicago. And tonight is the night where you can expect everybody to make speeches and say rah, rah, rah Harris.
Rah, Harris.
So Expected to speak tonight are Hillary Clinton, Representative Jim Clyburn, Kathy Hochul. Some folks have said maybe AOC, maybe Sanders. I think Biden might be speaking. And, you know, we'll see. It should be a lively night in comparison to previous Democratic National Conventions, considering the energy around the campaign currently. So I think that right now the Democrats are really going to treat this like a big party, and I think it's they're feeling really good about where the poll numbers are going into the DNC, knowing that they will most likely dominate headlines for the majority of this week due to the DNC. What are your takes? Anything that you wanted to say before I move into some Trump stuff?
I don't really watch these conventions, but I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I do watch the highlights the next day on clips on YouTube. So, I have a couple of things that I'm looking to see if happen, right? One, I'm hearing that a lot of the energy of who's speaking is like, we need newer energy, but we're going back, and this is some passing the torch type of energy, which is cool for whatever. But if we're going to get with the times and everybody going viral on TikTok and the energy is being created from the new momentum that exists in this country, we need to kind of, I think, represent that more on that stage. But at the same time, I want to see, what was my second part? I forgot it. But, what was it, Kay?
I don't know.
We didn't do this in pre-production.
We didn't talk about this one.
I don't know. Get back to me.
Okay.
But yeah, like, I'm not gonna watch it in real time. Oh, that's what I want to say. I don't want this to feel like a victory lap.
Okay.
And I feel like the momentum and this being a monumental energy that we haven't seen in a very long time, that a lot of people could get misplaced and displaced with the fact that the war has already been won and ding dong, the witch is dead type of energy, and I don't think we're there yet. I don't want this to look like that either.
I think with the campaign narratives being what they are, in terms of so much of we're not going back and this type of fight to save democracy, I highly doubt that it'll have that feeling just because of the rhetoric, despite the party atmosphere. That's just my thought, though.
And I'm not even referring to party atmosphere, because what we haven't seen in a while since, I guess, Obama, is this is a part of politics too. Motherfuckers supposed to be excited about their candidates.
Right.
Not just mad at other people.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We got that washed out for a long time. So I don't want to act like just because, and I know that's not how you meant it, but that's how they actually been framing it, and they partially been framing it because it is a black woman, that is just a big party. No, this is what energy behind a candidate looks like.
Right.
Depending on the energy of the candidate. The team play like the coach.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, man. I just don't want to do... I want motherfuckers to really preach that this is... We 3 weeks since she announced. We got more weeks to go than that. And they are restructuring, and I don't know if they're going to figure out a way to put a dart on the board, but lately they've been doing a lot of missing. But they pay the best people to try to figure out a way to slap back.
Yeah.
Now we done.
All right. So, moving into the other side of things, we know that Trump was recently at a rally in Pennsylvania and referred to it as North Carolina. And since then, Donald Trump's nephew has come out and said that his family has a history of dementia, and he believes that the ex-president, Donald Trump, is displaying the early signs of dementia. Now, this is very ironic Because if we, backtrack about a month and a half, we were having a very similar conversation coming from Trump's point of view towards Biden, saying that Biden was too old. Biden has dementia. He's not fit to lead our country. He can't continue to be our president for another 4 years. And now, because this complete shift in Democratic energy, we're having these same conversations about Trump.
The one that set him up.
And I think it's going to be particularly interesting as we move into the debates to see somebody like Harris actually square off with someone like Trump. We haven't seen Harris debate in quite some time. We also haven't seen her do an interview or any sort of like speaking platform where she could really be caught off guard in recent times since she's announced. So I think with the debates coming up, it'll be very interesting to see how Trump handles himself, how candidate Harris handles herself, vice president, and I think I'm definitely going to be tuning in, if not in the building, because the first one is in Philadelphia.
3-0 Harris.
In battle rap turns?
Yeah, like 3-0 Harris. Like, is y'all crazy? You talking about, and I heard your point about she's somebody that hasn't been challenged in a position where, somebody's giving feedback, they can throw her off. Mm-hmm. She grew up black. That woman know how to argue. And throughout her career, she's shown that she keeps a tight grasp of the goings-ons and the facts, right?
Truth.
And she speaks to facts and to truth. And the thing that has been missing from people that have been going against 45 is possibly exactly what she possesses. No. Who you talking to? Stop lying. Don't do that. Oh, that's crazy. Give you that mama look? Yeah, man, that translates. It'll be dissected for weeks. I think she might got it. I ain't gonna lie. Because similar to Barack, and I don't think people are acknowledging this yet, but they probably will soon. She gives awesome speeches. And you know who possibly gives better speeches than her?
Who?
The vice presidential nominee running on her ticket.
Tim Walz.
His speeches are crazy relatable.
Yeah.
In a way that Barack was relatable to me. That's a white man that I'm kind of getting a little bit of like, no, I fuck with you. Like, yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, he give it up in a way that's like, no, you sound like a great teacher, a football coach, and a good Samaritan. Like, I fuck with you. So I think that that's a lot to overcome when everything that you do is on manipulation, and a lot of things that you could say can be disproved. I think what's dangerous is that his base doesn't care about the truth either, and he knows that.
Right.
So even if this is a situation where he is showing signs of dementia, and I take you back to when he was talking about sharks and duct tape and shit a couple months ago, right? Mm-hmm. He's clearly shown signs of the same thing that he held against Biden, and then when Biden steps down after you pushing that narrative, this young lady is eons younger than you, and you're the guy that's up there rambling and shutting down and lying about crowd sizes. So now you can't see either.
Right.
And you comparing stuff to MLK, you don't respect anything about his descendants.
At all.
So why are we bringing that up for measuring sticks? You a clown, and he's being exposed, and I think that she's probably the perfect person in this time and moment, which we didn't think we would have a black woman for another 30 years. Let's be for real. Mm-hmm. But I think that if anybody has a shot in this moment, he's the perfect one to go up against. If he want to be stupid and act stupid, she gonna act stupid too. And she not gonna take the low road. She's just gonna prove that she's smarter than you. She been doing that her whole life. She's heard to work 3 times as hard her whole life. You never had to work. So it is what it is.
All right, that's all I have for politics today.
Looking forward to it. Where we at next?
It's up to you. Do you want to go back to hip hop, or do you want me to get my one other out the way?
Get your, what's the upcoming events? We don't want to say them for last.
Okay, we can talk about those.
Never want to end with events. And we got a few more topics, but I want to make sure we get this. Oh man, look at that. Is it up?
Not everywhere yet.
All right. This is a big one. This is a goodie, man. I think it was it the pregame or the beginning of the show when I was saying I'm double booked this day, and I gotta be very careful. Man, that thing start at 6. That's what that say?
No, that's our ticket giveaway.
Oh, okay.
It starts from noon to 7.
All right, cool. Yeah, so I'm gonna probably be there at noon and leave at 3. But as soon as she gets situated, I'm gonna let her introduce the situation. But it is the Bent Wine
All right.
Polo
Okay.
Classic Wine Festival.
Yeah, so August 24th. You can get your tickets online right now by going to bentwineco.com. I'm actually going to put that right here so folks can see it extra big. bentwineco.com. But what's happening this weekend, August 24th, is the Bent Wine Polo Classic. As you can see from the flyer, Little Mo will be performing live. It's happening in New Jersey from 12 to 7 p.m. And if you haven't been before, this is one of the hottest events of the year. It's such a vibe. You hang out with, 200, 300 of the best looking people on the East Coast. You drink wine, you picnic, you eat food, you listen to good music, and just vibe out all together. So it's definitely going to be a dope situation. If you haven't already, please do go get your tickets. bentwineco.com. I figured it would be. It is at the festival grounds in New Jersey. You can find all of the information on their website. Anything to add, Sam?
Yeah, I'm going to the page because I saw a couple of new announcements. Trying to see if I can. All right, DJ Correct will be in the building. Angel Blue and Black Rose will be performing live also, probably opening up for Lil Mo.
Mm-hmm.
Ty Michelle.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, that's international vibe. She about to tear it up. No, like we talking about live show the whole way through. I even let Lil Mo tell you. Hold up. Hold up. Let me get back to the get back. Oh, I messed it up. Hold on. Here we go.
I just got finished rocking the stage, but I'm coming to y'all August 24th for the Bent Wine Polo Classic, and I need you out there with me. We're going all the way up on August 24th. If you don't have your tickets by now, then you slack it, you lack it, no caddy. I'll be singing all my classics. If we have some altos and sopranos in the building, come sing with me, because I'm doing all the throwbacks, and we're going all the way up for the Bent Wine Polo Classic. Get your tickets now.
Yeah, man. Shout out to
Heavy.
Lil Mo, man. What's crazy is I just saw footage Envy posted, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he said, oh, I got 2 points to this. He said Lil Mo, since Lil Mo just pulled up the support, but she hopped on stage and she didn't perform, but she gave like a half a performance type of joy. Like he played the record and she kind of like introed it and then like fell back, but she turned the crowd up real quick.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that happy medium when your friends is there and it's like, no, just give them something. Shout out to her, man. The crowd still to this day loves Lil Mo. They love her, man. That's a voice that we always gonna identify with. And then, shout out to my man SNS Icy Gang, SNS Junior, DJ SNS son. We had him on a platform. He pulled up on Envy at the same car show, and he has a video on his page. Go check out SNS _ Icy Gang, I believe. And he talking to Envy, and he like, man, I told him we had tickets, and Envy was like, you ain't never got to get another ticket to another event of mine in your life. And I just think that that's love because his dad came up when Envy came up, and that's that community that them DJs had that we talk about, and that's that respect that young man has earned as the son of a legend. So I just want to salute the whole situation, man, that Envy had, whether I know the brother or not. Lil Mo gave it up, and S&S had a good time. So salute, man. We look forward to seeing Lil Mo. Hopefully I'm able to hang out long enough to see you perform. If not, kill that shit. Get your money, go home, baby.
Absolutely. And you have another event happening this weekend as well. Tell the people about that.
You got the graphic?
I don't.
I
don't.
She have it. I heard it through the intro.
I don't.
I heard it through the intro.
Sorry.
All right, cool. Black Kings 2024 Runway Gala, Saturday, August 24th. Hosted by Sam Malone.
That part.
This is a formal event. Formal and evening attire required. Must be 21 plus to purchase a ticket. Tickets available on concretemoguls.com until August 15th. So, what's today's date? I think that's over.
19th.
Yeah, so it's over for that, but it might be still tickets available. So tap in with Tweet, First Lady Tweet, Concrete Moguls, and see if you can see what's going on with that. Matter of fact, I'll go to her page right now and make sure it's not an update that I'm missing.
And this is going to be a dope event because this is actually historic. It's it's the first time that they are having a runway event dedicated only to black men's fashion.
Absolutely.
In this area.
We're making history that night. Be a part of history.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm on the page. DJ N.I. will be in the building. Sam Malone will be in the building. Wonder Butter Lady will be there. Excuse me. Vibe Black Vodka will be there. My sister Whitney Hands will be there.
Shout out, Whit.
Yeah, it's going to be a great night, man. It's going to be a vibe. Del P album release party at the Vibe. Shout out my brother Del P, man. So we going to have some fun. And like I said, same night as the wine festival. So I'm going to go catch a lunch vibe at the wine festival, come home and try to get spiffy and do my thing for my thizzle. Shout out to Tweet for always thinking about me. It's funny because if I told you who her other thought was to have hosted, you would cry. So I gotta go hold it down for my sister, man. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna kill it. I'm excited about that. Anything else I need to shout out?
That's all that I knew of.
Alright, we should be good for this week. Cool.
Alright. So now we're back to the question. My topic or your three?
Go to yours. Do your thing.
Alright. We can talk about it. So, I know you're not on TikTok very often. However, something very interesting happened to TikTok recently.
Something happened to TikTok.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
So,
They broke it?
the newest thing that is trending is if you post something that says in the caption, very demure, very mindful. This is a trend. But I felt like we just need to remind the people what demure means.
Uh-oh. She gonna go to the dictionary.
Oh, I got it right here. Reserved, modest, shy. If we're talking about clothing, it's giving a modest appearance. So, when y'all are posting this caption
Like most captions that y'all fuck up.
on just like your latest selfie in a revealing sundress or bikini pic, it doesn't matter what face you think you're making. It doesn't fit this definition.
Talk to him.
And it's ridiculous. Like I said, I don't like TikTok very much, but I thought that the algorithm, I'm on TikTok enough that I thought the algorithm would know that I like to look at dog reels. Like, that's my thing. I just want to look at cute puppies all day long. Don't show me anything else. So why are you showing me captions that say, very demure, very mindful, about a dog licking their butt?
Wow. Because y'all do too much with everything, yo. That's like that chow filter, which was nothing but chow on your face for no fucking What do y'all be doing out here?
So this is one TikTok trend that I officially want to end as soon as possible. Please and thank you.
So, in the words of the legendary philosopher, Sexy Red, I ain't demure hoe. No. Okay. I ain't demure. Bitch, I'm a hoe.
Oh.
She understood the play.
Oh. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, Sexy Red.
At least she knew the definition.
Bitch, I'm a hoe. Y'all need to own up to some shit, man. And that's what's crazy. Y'all always want to say, but niggas do. But men always do. Yeah, but if you call a man a hoe, he ain't gonna cry for 40 nights.
Right.
Y'all start owning it up to that, y'all get the same respect. Start trying to tell us y'all unicorns when the word hoe was made for a reason. Anyway.
All right, back to your topics. Back to your topics.
Nah, you got one more on there.
No, I don't.
Rory Freestyle.
That's my topic?
That's a K topic.
That is not a K topic.
K inherited that topic.
How did the K inherit that topic?
Because she was excited about the topic.
That is a stretch of a wording. All right, let's
What,
start with this
excited?
one for you.
Alright, let's do it. Oh, Marlon versus Vlad?
Yep.
That's what we doing?
Yep.
Alright, so Vlad and Marlon were in communications about doing an interview. The style of what I assume the style of what we're accustomed to from Vlad. One-on-one style, Vlad off camera, ask you a bunch of stuff that half of it he probably shouldn't ask you, but if you're savvy enough, you might be able to make a moment out of it and not implicate yourself in anything crazy, which is not really Marlon's situation. More of he would probably ask Marlon things that may be embarrassing or may be things that Vlad thinks may be embarrassing to Marlon.
Mm-hmm.
But what happens is the interview was requested by Vlad.
Mm-hmm.
Marlon's people responded with a price. Vlad felt disrespected by the price. And this man that has been trying to prove to us for years that he's not a culture vulture did some culture vulture shit.
What'd he do?
He went online and said, Marlon just asked me for 40,000. Nobody would ever give him 40,000. If you look at the interviews that he does, they only get 100, 200, 500,000 views. Who would give him 40,000 for an interview? Okay, you book people, right?
Mm-hmm.
You book people that sometimes make way more money than what you got in the budget, right?
Yep.
If you're offering somebody an opportunity and you know that they might get paid more, or maybe you don't, right? When they respond and say that it doesn't suit their time or their bank account to do such event that you know is already probably a little, you know, it is my budget. This ain't they budget, right?
Right.
How do you handle that?
I appreciate you getting back to me. I'll keep you in mind for future events. Have a good day.
What happens if you go on your Facebook and out this person and tell them how much they're worth?
I would never.
That's what Vlad did.
That's crazy.
So he gave up the number, and mind you, this is the part that Vlad doesn't want to account for, and it goes back to why I introduced it the way I did.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, we look at you like a culture vulture. When people, even if like let's say I called and Marlon said 20,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
He might be wanting to do me a favor, or he might be willing to give me his real number, perhaps, right? When we are proposed with business that we might not want to do, we charge the highest. Because if I'm going to do that, they going to pay this. Right? That's the thing, right?
Yeah.
This is going to be a hassle. This somebody I really don't trust, I really don't owe anything to, somebody I really don't I don't agree with their vision, but if we're gonna do it, you're gonna pay me in such a way that I would do that on a day that I could have did something else.
Absolutely, yeah.
So that number may have been your number, or it could have been his number, or a mixture of both. This is what you deal with platforms, booking, and track records.
And let's be real, a Vlad interview doesn't really have much of an upside for him.
Marlon ain't trying to get on the scene,
Right,
and he ain't gonna be Lil Boosie on it.
right.
So it doesn't matter. This is one, and I want to be clear. It was a $40,000 payment and 30% of future proceeds. Sound like business to me. It sound like yay or nay.
Yep.
Yay or nay. Because when you do a Vlad interview, for people that don't watch Vlad's channel, and I haven't watched it in a while, but the last time I was on it, it'd be part 17 of an interview. 5 million subscribers. My interview in full plus 20. And I don't like you. So as a result, Marlon went on tilt and he let off a lot of tweets and he grinded Vlad the fuck up. And he kept talking about Vlad being a culture vulture, and he kept talking about how nobody that's on his news feed even knows who DJ Vlad is. And he let a lot of jokes fly, and he told Vlad, I'm the wrong one to mess with. But I think that as somebody that has been on a lot of my favorite platforms in the last 3 years trying to explain to our community that his intention is not what we think it is, similar to Adam, 22, right?
Right.
You go back on your platforms and your social medias and prove yourself wrong. And once again, don't see that you're doing it while you're doing it. So when we present it back to you, you're going to have an excuse for why you did it because you don't understand that you are still tripping. You bugging, bro. Why did you out him? Because you wanted the interview.
Right. Bottom line. You wanted it.
That's crazy. You're a culture vulture and you a nut.
If
Pussy.
you want me, supply and demand, I get to choose my price.
And I will literally overcharge you if I don't want to do it.
Right.
That's
That's
part
fine.
of everything. That comes everything from the streets on up. If I don't feel like it, man, you gotta pay. Don't call me after midnight unless you paying tax. Stupid. I don't care if I'm in the streets. I'm enjoying myself. Need more money. Stupid.
You ready to go on the next?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Another Sam.
Peace on Rosecrans. I know we in Philly, but this year has been a lot of light, especially since the battle with Kendrick and Drake on LA and LA culture. If I'm being completely honest, I've been paying attention the last few years to what a lot of these gentlemen got going over there, especially in their platforms and stuff. And a lot of times we get behind the scenes information or conversations about these gentlemen on the West Coast really trying to figure out something that makes more sense for the future, yo. This gangbanging second, third generation. What Nip say? Third generation gangbanging and live long enough to see it changing. Look, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is a representation of it. We seen it when Nip passed and the days of peace and everybody walking together. And I think this is another attempt at that, similar to what we saw with the pictures and the moments we got from the pop-out concert with Kendrick. They still pushing their lines. So what happens in this situation is the Peace on Rosecrans situation was brought up with YG and the Game linking together and trying to create peace between Pyrus and Bloods, which to us seems like two of the same coin. But over there is levels to all of that, and they politicking is what it is. But I just wanted to bring light to the fact that as much as we want to give Kendrick the credit for what happened on that night, whether he gets credit for this or not, let's credit everybody that took the flag and tried to make something dope happen afterwards, whether they got that energy from there or maybe they was waiting to do it and they figured out a way to do it, or it was the right time or the right moment. I love to see our brothers on the West Coast trying to make sure that there are less bodies dropping and less people going to jail and less people getting harmed, however they could pitch in, and it doesn't get acknowledged enough. So I wanted to bring up that these brothers, you want to talk about him walking that little white girl through the projects a couple weeks ago. You ain't talk about when he brought a bunch of gangsters together and nothing happened. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So shout out to those brothers, man. Peace
Absolutely.
on Rosecrans and all over LA, California, man.
Absolutely.
But
That's dope. Good for
there's
them.
billboards from the pop out that shows unity. There's moments like this that show unity. There's things that's being done in the communities that's not getting enough traction. But like I said, I've been following some of these brothers. I'm aware of it, and I just want to salute y'all, man. We trying to do the same thing on our side, man. We fighting for us too.
Facts.
And salute to Mont Brown. He just had a great event this weekend that just passed.
Definitely
Brought
did.
the community together. Had them out there dancing and getting resources and eating good and smiling. And yeah, we trying on our side too, bro. Salute to y'all. Salute to y'all. I just thought that was important to be acknowledged because I didn't see why that's not going viral. And what's funny about it is, going back to Michael Rubin, he was saying the impact that he wanted his Fanatics weekend that he just had this past weekend that was humongous that he did in conjunction with 4040 and a whole lot of other entities. He wanted the traction on social media. And it was so many entities tied into his with superstars and athletes and all of this stuff that it was like, no, you going to get the traction. You good. And we've been seeing that the whole weekend.
Mm.
This happened this weekend too.
Yeah, definitely did.
Now, not putting up one against the other, but it wasn't no space outside the couple platforms that might have gave one post about it. No slide videos of what happened during and up. Just, you know what I mean? None of the energy. So I just wanted to give it up to them because it's not easy, man. It take a lot of power and a lot of resilience and a lot of understanding to be able to do stuff like that. And if y'all never been a part of nothing like that, then that's nothing to snarl at, yo.
Not at all.
A lot of these men, including the ones that organized that, would love to have that monkey off that back.
Absolutely.
Crazy. Grow up stressed out.
All right.
Salute to my brothers, man. We don't know each other, but y'all my brothers. Yeah, K-topic.
How is this a K topic?
Let's do it.
All right. I'll introduce it at least. So, Rory from the Rory and Mal podcast, used to be from the Joe Budden podcast, recently came out with a new freestyle where he raps.
Came out with a freestyle where he raps. Uh-huh. I'm with you.
And he disses Mal in it. Daenerys is in the background, and she texts like, "Girl, get me out of here." So there's a lot of little funny jokes that happen. The rap itself, the bars are there. I can't hate. The bars are there. He did a good job of like bleeding in different podcast names, all of that stuff. It was funny. It was a cute little skit. What do you think of this, Sam? Since you made it a topic, don't act like I did.
No, but I did make it a topic. I'll be honest. But she was so entertained by it. She watched it and said, "But Sam, what did I just watch?" And then watched it again. So you not gonna front like you weren't entertained by it.
I was entertained.
And then I think you watched it the second time because he said a lot of things and shouted out a lot of podcasts, and I think you missed some of those.
I definitely did. I had
That's
to
why
rewatch.
I wanted you to introduce this one.
You trying to set me up. I see
people
you.
don't realize Rory is an artist. He is an A&R. He is a manager. Rory has a lot of different it's a reason that White Boy is a Kappa. He's very talented. He blends in a lot of different areas, I should say, right? That makes sense?
Yeah.
So him rapping is like, rapping ain't my thing, but I know how to write. So what's least desirable about his freestyle is probably the cadence, but there's always a line that draws you back into the rap, and that's a skill.
Well, and I think that the cadence was purposely done up.
Joking.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was jokingly.
Yeah.
Jokingly is the word. Jokingly done.
In jest.
Exactly. In jest. Oh no.
Oh.
Yeah.
Where are you going with that?
I think the cadence was done in jest. I think the way that they played it, like a lot of these skits, their skits are Office, Seinfeld energy skits all the time, right? Where it's like there's always this dry thing that just happens, and then he walks over and he hugs Demure, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that was the signal for Maul to walk out the room, like to walk into the garage, like, what y'all doing? And it cuts off. I think that's brilliant. I think if you understand Stick, then that was a good joint. It just had a battle rap on it. But does Maul respond?
Ooh.
The brother of hip hop.
Maybe. That'd be fun. I hope so. I hope he responds.
Does Maul respond?
I
Is
hope
there
he
a
responds.
response coming? Are they about to Drake and Kendrick this thing out?
I hope he does.
The hip white boy versus the one tied to all the lyrics. Oh. Let me hype it up. No, but I thought it was fun. I think that these is the type of things that not necessarily the same way, but we're gonna do stuff, random stuff like that, and put it on, because if we keep the camera rolling, then all we have to do is caption it, and y'all understand the energy, because I'm ridiculous and a lot of people around me are ridiculous. So y'all get some moments like this from us coming soon.
Absolutely.
But you get them in the trippings a little bit too. So we already giving them to you, and I have a camera that I got my eye on. That's an elevated version of the 360 camera that I used to have that actually has a scratch on it.
Yeah, that's why we haven't had a 360 in a minute.
Yeah, so when I get that, I'm gonna start running around with my own camera and doing my own IRLs or whatever have you from it. So yeah, I'm plotting on something right now. Holidays coming, somebody gotta get me this camera. You know what I'm saying? But no, we're gonna have some fun. So I think they just having fun, and it's just another thing to put content out. What do you say to me all the time? Ain't too many people in the area that put out as much content online as we do as a platform.
Yeah.
That's just another form.
Absolutely. So before we get out of here, I do want to shameless plug. You can get with me on the gram at FontPhilly, PHANTPHILLY.
Why?
Font Productions is my company. Get with me and get your business right. I do everything from LLCs, trademarks, financial planning for your business, particularly for creative businesses, as well as event curation and media production like this podcast. You can catch Sippin' with Sammie podcast. We drop every Thursday at 4 p.m. Sippin' with Sammie is the king of happy hour. We also have this show Mondays live at 6 p.m. And you can find me now streaming on Twitch at Font215. That's PHANT 215.
What's my Twitch?
Sippin' with Sammie.
Oh, all right. Yeah, we in there too. Check me out. I'm out there. No, but we gonna roam these Twitch streets. We gonna tear up the TikTok. We are here on YouTube, but we appreciate however you ingest whatever we giving. We appreciate the interaction. If you weren't able to comment and chat live or didn't feel comfortable, please feel free to comment later. It's still be up. It's still up there, man. We will respond to anything that's honorable. I'm not playing no games with nobody.
And while you're on that, shout out to A Stratton. He sent us a rose on TikTok.
My guy.
He also put some peace signs and gang in the chat.
Stratton, check your DM if you still on here. I sent you this Trent. Anyway.
Well, you'll see him Saturday because he will be at the Black Kings gala, fashion gala.
Yeah. Showing his wares.
Absolutely.
Getting his shit off.
Yep.
I love it. We're going to have some fun, man. We're going to have some fun. But thank you for tuning in, man. We getting out of here early today. We only had a few topics, but they was good ones. Shout out to K for that.
Big hand.
thought I was gonna be slacking because I started streaming. That's what he said.
Shout out C-Cash. C-Cash was actually working tonight, so he couldn't make it. I probably should have said that earlier, but he reached out.
Oh, shout out
Harassed
Cash.
me, let me know.
Shout out
He
Cash.
called me a camel, but we'll talk about that when y'all see him again. It's cool. But nah. All in all, just go to my Instagram, see what we got going on. I've been making a lot of dope conversations and connections lately, and there's some people y'all gonna see on this platform. We just gonna keep turning it up, man. We just gonna keep turning it up. I ain't got no choice at this point. The backlog is backlogging. So we about to act stupid. So like I said, concert series coming back. We've been in talks with some people that want to make that happen with us. So we're just being patient until I feel like enough is enough and I pull the trigger. That's all it is. That's all it is. So we'll see y'all soon, man. See y'all next Monday. Catch me Thursday. And I'm going to start randomly streaming on Twitch and YouTube in certain moments. So just look out for it. Hopefully I got enough time to give y'all a heads up. But that's not really how my life operates. This is Sippin' with Sammy. I am Mr. Fly Shit, only the one and only Sippin' with Sammy. Sam Malone, Barstool Rug. If you ain't sippin' with Sammy, you ain't sippin' right. Please get your fucking life together.
Damn, Sammy, you done fucked up.
Thanks, Sammy. Fucking yuppie transplants. Move the fuck out. Get out of our fucking city. You ain't even fucking born here. Tired of you motherfuckers.